Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So today we are turning our pile of scraps into an actual journal. So we're going to be making the signatures today. And what I'm going to be doing is putting the papers together. Now what I did ahead of time was I sorted through the papers that I pulled, and what I did was I folded them based on different sizes and stuff like that, and that's how I have them all together here is based on size. So some of them are thicker than others, some are thinner. That's because they're brittle and they're very old pages. Some are a little bit wrinkled, not too bad, but that's all the part of the charm of making junk journals. So I have these pages from an Edwardian lady, and I haven't done anything with them yet because this is why I've been hoarding these, because I like them so much that I don't want to fold them like this, because I just feel like you lose something when you do that. I kind of would like to have them facing the correct direction. So that's why I haven't folded those. So we have those off to the side. Then, like I said, I worked on those, but we have to figure out what we're going to use. Now, I decided that I am going to use this book cover. So what I did was I took the spring roll, cheese and steak spring roll box, and I measured out the size of the spine, and it's about 2 3/4 of an inch. So I said, you know what? That's perfectly fine. So I cut that with my X-Acto knife. So I did that ahead of time. And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold these in so that on the ends, it's a little bit thicker. So we're going to glue those down. And then what we're going to do is we are going to connect this to this. Now, I'm going to keep these off to the side because if we need anything sturdy, we have a heavier type of cardstock type of product. So I threw them to the side. Now, the 12 by 12 papers that I had shown you in the previous video, I did not do anything with them because I'm not sure if I'm going to use them or not. So how are we going to attach this, you may ask? I'm thinking I might attach them with fabric. It's going to be a little bit, I think it might be a little too short. No, it's, maybe. But that's okay because it doesn't have to be. What I'm going to do, let me quickly glue these together. And then we're going to work on the signatures. So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you got to see the first video. And if you haven't, I will make sure to link it here for you, because I go through all of the pages and stuff and products that I kind of want to use, like the fabrics that I pulled for this project that we're going to be working on. I want it to only be 4 videos for a series, so I don't want it to be long and drawn out for you. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. That should be okay. I may have to, because see how it's a little bit thin. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to use these. And this might actually be the same size. Is it? Oh, I think it is. It is. Perfect. So we're going to cut this part off. And maybe that might be enough. So let's do that now. And then we're going to start working on the signatures. But I just wanted to show you this part first. I want to get out my knife. So did everybody have a wonderful holiday? We did what we do every single year. We stay home, and basically what we do is we buy a standing rib roast, and that's what we make every year for our Christmas dinner. And what we had was basically like a British meal. It's Yorkshire pudding. So my husband makes Yorkshire pudding. We make the standing rib roast, and the other thing that we do is I make sweet and sour cabbage, the red cabbage. All right, let's glue these down. So that's what we did. Now this has this little flap here. So I am going to just make sure that it's all glued down, which is fine because it'll give us a little bit more stability when we glue it together with the other piece. Nope, it popped open. I thought that maybe we might do a hidden spine, and I might be able to do that because if I have to use 2 of these, what I can do is attach one to the actual book covers, and then we can sew in the signatures into the other one. Now, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to use 2 signatures, 3 signatures. So I think we're going to go with just 2. So these are the pages. Let me put this off to the side here. And so I have the bigger pages in the back. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to turn this over. And we're going to figure out which pages we want to use here. See, like this one is very, very brittle. But I really want to use it because I like the aging of it. And I think maybe we will use this one. So I'm going to put these 2 off to the side. I'm so used to doing 3. I was pulling 3. We only need 2. Okay, so we're going to pull those 2. I would like to use this one. And I think we're going to use this one because it's a little bit more written on. And then I think we're going to use these 2 pieces of cardstock. And then I think we're going to use this one. I know I definitely want to use that one. So we'll get rid of this one. And then I have 2 pieces of tracing paper. And then I think we're going to use the gray and the blue, not the cream. Now I pulled out 2, 4, 6 of these. I don't know if we're going to use them. These are the coffee dyed papers. And then I have, let's take those 2. I'm not going to grab this one. We're going to take this one and this one. And then I think we're going to take That one's because it's got the blue. And what was the one? I think we'll take that one. And then we have, we'll take this one. And I want to take that one. And then we'll take 2 of these, 2 of those, two of these, and we'll take 2 of those, and then we got to figure out what we're going to do with those. So let's figure out, let's start from the back. This, I know I'm going to have to use washi tape on because I know this is going to fall apart. So we have 1 and 2. 1 and 2. This isn't the series that it's going to be going in. I just want to, separate them. And then if I need to adjust anything, I will adjust as we go along here. I'm going to pull all 6 for right now. I don't know if we're going to need them, but put that one there, that there, and that there. Okay. So what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we have way too many. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, that's too many. So let's do... Let's take out the little music page since we have a bigger one. Let's take out this page. Let's take out one of these. And then let's take out 2 of these. Let's see what this is. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we'll do 1 more to make it 12. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these as the outer cover. So we will use that one. Okay, so we got to do the same thing over here. Now we don't have to pull the exact same things, but 1, 2, 3. We're going to take that one out, which is the one that had the middle. I want to take that one. We'll take the ripped one out. We'll take this one out. And we have this. We have that. We have that. All right, let's see how many we have here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that means I still need to take 1 out. I said to take the big one out. That's okay. So let me throw these off to the side. All right, so let's put these in some kind of format here. So I want to put this on the outside. So this would be the cover. So let's do Let's do this one. And then let's alter the colors here. Let's do this one. And then maybe we'll do this one. We'll do this one. And we'll do this one. Put that one there. And I think we will put this here. Let's put that. This I want to be in the middle, I think. So let's put want to break up some of this color here. Let's put maybe this one, and then maybe this one, like that. No, I think we're going to do that way. And then I think we're going to do maybe this one that way. Let's take a look at that. And we're not worrying about keeping this straight. We're keeping this the way it is. We're not cutting anything. It doesn't need to be exact. So we have that. That I'm probably going to put washi tape to reinforce it. Yeah, that's good. I like that. All right. That's pretty good. Now let's work on this one. So we're going to use this. And let's do this one a little bit differently. Let's do this one maybe. And then maybe that. This one I'm going to use for the middle. I'll do that one. We'll do that one. We'll do this one. And maybe we'll put this. And then this. And then we'll do this one. Nope. We're going to do this one. And this one. And that one. And then I want this to be in the middle. All right, so we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Because I want that to be in the middle. We're going to do it that way. Okay. All right. So we have our 2 signatures. Okay, so I pulled out a couple of different types of thread. I think we're going to go with the embroidery floss, only because that's a little bit thicker. So let's figure out which colors we want to use here. I'm thinking maybe this one. I like the lighter one. I think we're going to go with the lighter one. I see this is all part of the use your stash. Okay, so I got one of them put together. It took me a minute to find my stuff, but I finally found it. So what I'm going to do is I want to reinforce this. So I have this washi tape right here. So we're going to use our Scotch permanent glue stick here. And right here in the middle is where we're going to put it. And then, so I'll make sure I'm putting it in the right spot here. And I'm just going to fold them over. Okay. And then I guess I should do the other side too. What do you think? All right. That would be silly not to do both sides. They're both brittle. Okay. There we go. That sure it's folded properly. Okay, so we're good. All right, so let's get this back in here. Now, I use these to keep all my stuff down. Should be enough. These I get at the Dollar Tree. I don't even know if they have them anymore, and needless to say, they're not $1 anymore, so. Okay, so that's the middle. And I do top and the bottom, both sides. This is always the most frustrating part for me usually, is sewing in a signature. Okay. So now, what I do is I use a pencil. And what I will usually do is I will measure out on my thing here. So we basically have about 10 inches. So let's do, so 5. I think we're going to do it at 8. About 5.5. I think we're going to do it 3. I think that should be good. Then what I usually do is I will take this and I will put these next to each other. And it usually always comes out right. Okay. Then I try, I don't care if it's perfect, but I try to get it as close as possible. So we have 1, because I could usually pretty much tell where I'm going here. And if it's off a little, it's off a little. That one I got right out the middle. This one's a little off. And then I just erase. Then I just make sure I go through it again. Okay. All right. And then we're going to sew in our signature here. And we're going to leave a little bit of a tail here. And I usually start in the middle. And I decided I was not going to do the hidden spine. I'm just going to do the normal one. I'm not going to do the other one. And then we're going to come back through the middle and try not to feed it through and break it. I think we're good. So we're going to pull this, take this out. This one goes underneath, one goes through on one side, and one goes through on the other side. Now they're taut. I want to make sure that they're tight enough. And they are. So we'll give it a little tug. And then I go one way, I go the other way. And that should be good. I'll usually do one a little bit longer. Okay, we'll take our clips. Because we're going to need it for the next one. And then I just thumb through it because I want to make sure all pages are in. We're looking good. That's pretty good. Okay. All right. So let's put this one off to the side. Now we're going to do this one. So I'm going to do this one and I will be right back. Okay, so we have our 2 signatures completed. So let's put these off to the side. All right, let's grab these. I think the way I'm going to do this is this way because we're going to be covering these anyway. So that should be thick enough now where it actually lines up with the actual book. So that's good. That's why we needed it to be a thicker piece here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to use my art glitter, the Fabri-Tac, the 3-in-1 glue. I think I'm going to use that one. Since there's multiple layers here. Okay. And I just filled up my bottle for this series, so we should be good. Do you hate that when you start working on a project and you're like, oh, I should have filled up my glue? You hate to tell me how many times I've done that. Okay. So now we are going to clean up these covers a little bit. And I am just taking some of the paint and stuff or whatever they used way back when. The ink is going to come off too. But like I said, we're going to be embellishing this, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay. And this is just like a paper texture, so I'm not too worried about it. Stuff that we're going to use on it to be attached. I don't think we'll have a problem with paper and stuff being attached to it because it's not like a shiny material. Because otherwise I would use like sandpaper and maybe try to sand the surface a little bit. So let's see, which fabric do we want to use? The biggest fabric swatch that I have is this one. So I think we might be using this one. So I think we're going to cut it about here. Alrighty. That's definitely more than enough. I may end up having to cut some of it, but so this is what we're going to be doing with this. We're going to be cutting this and then putting this together. So I don't need a whole ton. I think we're going to cut it right here on this crease. It's probably not going to cut that way, but we're going to try. Oh, it did. Okay. That side is pink, so we don't have to worry about that. I think we should be good to go now. Doesn't take too long for this to set up. And we have to make sure that it's not going to be seen. And I think we should be good. We're going to just add a little bit on because I don't really want it to be seen too much. Okay. I'll cut this on an angle. Hopefully that should be good enough. Nope, I gotta cut more off. This is usually always trial and error for me. That better? This is like my OCD when it comes to this stuff. It's like, I try not to be perfect, but it bothers me when it doesn't look right. Usually what I'll do is I'll push in like the edges, but this piece is just sticking out way too much. That's a little bit better. And then I just make sure I pull it tight. And we have to do the same thing over here. And then I'm going to cut a little bit of this off because this is just a little too wide. Yeah, it's too much here. All right, I think we're good there. All right. I'm going to take a little bit off here. Only because I don't want the whole big overlapping thing. Okay. All right, let's glue this down. Love when you're working with fabric and it gets all gooey. Okay. And I try to pull it as tight as I can, especially after I've finagled with it for long enough. And then we just want to make sure that this is all glued down nice. Okay, so in today's video, we created the 2 signatures that we're going to be using. We cleaned up the book cover that we're going to be using. Then we measured and created a spine for the actual cover itself. So in the next video, what we're going to do is we are actually going to be working with putting the signatures into the actual spine and attaching the spine to the actual cover itself. So we will work on that in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you get to see part 3 of this journal series of using anything that you have in your house. And it's a no-buy junk journal. And don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. So I hope to see you all for video number 3. So take care, everybody, and we'll see you then.